Okay, so hello everybody, and welcome to Honorbound Q&A. Unfortunately, the overlay is not here. I lost it with the hard drive crash, and still crashed, and still data recovery is still gonna take a long time to follow up. And we just want to just jump right into it and figure out what game we'll be playing online. So, how this goes is you just spam whatever questions you wanna have answers to. Yeah, it was Neil's connection that didn't work with Justin. I'm okay with Justin's cam. It's perfect.
Yeah,
Um,
I don't know what was up with that. For some reason, every time I connected to Neil, my cam didn't work, and then if I connected to other people on Skype, it was fine. And also, 'cause there's been an issue with Skype. So
Most likely. Okay, so just like spam whatever questions you have. We're gonna answer them in your chat, and until then, we're gonna decide what we're gonna be playing. So in previous Q&As, we played chess. I played Dota with Ryan. I don't remember what else I played. Oh,
we played Hearthstone
we played
once.
Hearthstone. Yeah, Hearthstone once. Still have no cards on that. You wanna try that? Wanna try more Hearthstone?
Yeah, we could actually. I could share my screen on Skype, and we could do an arena together.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. So, share screens that'll mean your cam. I lose your cam.
No, my cam could still be there.
Okay, yeah, do it. Do it. Share screen. Okay, awesome. Let me just edit this up. And that's what we're gonna be doing, guys. We're gonna be doing an arena, and Justin's gonna be doing an arena because I'm shit at Hearthstone. I have no cards. I'm gonna put that in background real fast.
There,
Awesome.
and I'll actually make it the full size of the monitor, so you don't have to do any cropping.
Yeah, let me just figure this out, and we'll jump right into it.
There.
So yeah, your cam's not working anymore. It's okay.
Can you see Hearthstone? I guess that's the important part.
Yeah, that's the important part.
I have to turn it back on. It assumes that if I'm sharing screens, I don't also want the cam, but I can turn the cam back on.
So this is like he's playing Hearthstone, and I'm streaming it. Okay, that's pretty fun. Okay, so by the way, I don't have any sound. That's pretty bad. Let's put some music on. Oh nope, can't put music on. That's gonna fuck up the overlay. So, guys, what's up? What's up in chat? How you guys doing? So, let's see what we have here in chat. So how do you decide you can throw out to your player and not make it easy or too hard? Basically, how do you find the balance? Well, it depends on your party. Just a joke, sorry. You basically need to know how strong your party is. Need to really know the characters and so on, and then decide how things are going. Depends on the situation as well. It always depends on the roles. Challenge rating helps. Basically, assign a challenge rating to your character, to your party, and then like take enemies that are more the same or close to their challenge rating. What do you think, Justin? How does balancing out combats work for you?
It depends on the edition, honestly, and it depends on how good I think the party is. Because there's some fights where you actually throw a challenge at the party, and the challenge isn't to fight; it's to find some other way around the obstacle, and you try and make it really obvious that they're not going to win if they actually take it head on.
Like for example, a good what is if I had thrown an additional very powerful creature at the party today with the everything else, that would have meant you are not gonna make this. you need to find another way around it.
Yeah. So, like you want to challenge the party in a mechanical way, but you also want, and it's strictly speaking, you should know how mechanically what the party can and can't take on. That should be very straightforward, because it's just numbers, and like challenge ratings in 5e make that really easy. In 4e, it was balanced by the amount of XP. I don't know what they did in 3.5. In 2e, it was also like really clear because the party couldn't handle anything, and anything you threw at them was going to kill them. That was just the way it was. So you know. Okay. I'm playing the first game of the arena. It's an okay deck. He coined Defias Ringleader turn 1, and I have a bomber, which ended up doing absolutely nothing for me. That's okay.
Sorry, that's a spoiler. I was muted. So that's a spoiler, Shane. I don't give that out. We'll see about it as we go along. RG Gravity, I think sound and everything should be okay now. Did Obos lose their ability to hug in fights? I think in theory they hug when they attack with claws and hit with an 18 or higher. They changed with 3E already. I do not know about 3E. To be honest, I don't remember for 3.5. I could bring up a monster manual for 3.5 if you're really that interested. But in 5e, there's nothing like that. So they don't get any hug ability. They just have a multi-attack and a wicked damage to hit, and wicked damage and to hit. They have a +7 to hit and a 1d10 +5 on the beak attack damage, and a 2d8 +5 on the claw attack for damage. Okay, so who's the best DM out of you guys? Chucky, Neo, Justin, or Ryan? This is a weird question. Like, it really depends. I mean, I don't have the experience that these guys have, so experience-wise they're a lot better. But DMing styles are different with everybody. So it really depends what you want. You might have a DM that's more descriptive and more expositional than like, let's go combat, let's do, and fast pace. Maybe somebody is more slower. It really depends with styles. That's my opinion. I wouldn't say I'm better than any of them. I mean, especially not with their experience counting in. What do you think, Justin? Who is the best DM out of the four of us?
I've never played with Ryan as a DM, actually. So, given the fact that I'm not going to include myself in the comparison, that pretty much limits me to picking between Neil and Ryan and Chucky. Or Neil and Chucky. And of those two people, Neil is a better DM because he has years more experience. It's like, that's not a fair comparison.
Yeah, not a fair comparison, but... Sorry about that. So Shane, I haven't seen Justin as a DM. I like to see that at some point. Shane, well, who knows? Maybe a fairy will make your wish come true. Who knows? Just keep around, stay around, keep on our Twitters and announcements. Who knows what neat things you might figure out. Yes, owlbears, for those who haven't figured it out, are vicious creatures. Vicious creatures. By the way, are my microphone levels good now, Woodhorse? A question with a kappa. By the way, does Ryan write Neil scripts?
Not as far as I know. I'm pretty sure Neil comes up with all his own bullshit.
Yep. So what do you think? You are as a DM? Like, if you could characterize yourself, what type of DM would you say you are?
I'm like an over-prepared DM. I think I want everything to be perfect, and I just put an enormous amount of time into prep. That's actually one of the reasons that I don't think I could DM a campaign right now. And I know people on my stream have heard me say this before, but I don't have enough time right now to do the kind of prep work that I would want to do if I was running a custom campaign. I actually have thought about doing. There's a couple of people I know who. There's a couple of girls I know actually who'd be interested in playing D&D, and some of them have never played D&D before. And they wanted to run a campaign.
Interesting. Oh, very few girls that I have met D&D. Well, it's the fact that I live in Romania, and this is like very, very, very. I'm the hipster of the hipsters playing D&D in Romania. Nobody even knows what pen and paper is.
You hear that? You hear that? Romania has not yet invented pen and paper.
Yeah.
That's how far behind they are technologically.
That's how far behind we are. Yeah. Like my girlfriend that's sleeping in the background right now. She plays D&D. She's a pretty good storyteller, but she's very shy. Like she's a very good improv DM. Like she has a lot of stories in her head. She can come up with like damnedest stories on the spot. But she's very shy. Like put her in front of two people that she doesn't know, and she'll do nothing. I'm just joking when I call her the second eye, Shane. What do you think about the grappling mechanic? I think it's a little silly that you only keep people from moving and don't hinder attacks. I'm completely against attacking. Oh, and Justin just lost his first game in Arena.
I did.
Yeah. I think it's stupid. I think it's utterly stupid. Like, I'm gonna look into it to make sure that Neil was right on that, but I do not like it at all. Like, I might even consider housing it. We'll see how we go around it. But it's kind of stupid grappling somebody, and because grappling is either like stopping to move and stopping to attack. That's kind of the whole idea of grappling. It's a bit redundant with still managing to attack, but still, I'm not gonna contest Neil. I think he actually knows what he's saying, that it's the way he says it is in the rules. We'll see how we go about it in the future. What do you think about this grappling mechanic there?
The grappled creature's speed becomes 0 and it can't benefit from any bonus to its speed. The condition ends if the grappler is incapacitated. The condition also ends... Yeah, that's it. Your speed becomes 0.
Yeah, that's not... Nope. I do not agree with that. I think that's stupid, really. But still, it's 5e. Basically, the rules are so broad that if you house rule a couple of stuff, it really gets into like a very good system. Like I feel like it's a good system to start off with. It's more of a how can I put it? It's more of a easier system than anything else.
It's simplified. It's a simplified system.
Yeah, it's a simplified system.
They wanted to make it as simple as possible.
Best and worst mechanic in 5e, Joe. Well, best and worst mechanic. What can I do not like how they do health. It's not health, but injuries, damage. It feels like somebody slashing at you with a war axe just leaves a bruise on your face, and then you can just like shake it off. I think that's not the worst mechanic, but I don't really like it. I don't really have a worst mechanic in it. I would say if I had to choose off the top of my head, it would be this grapple thing. It would really be this grapple thing. Best mechanic? I don't. I think the way they simplify combat and the prepared action and so on are pretty good. I mean, I like how combat flows. There's a couple of things that we still need to figure out, but as combat flows, it's pretty good. What are your favorite and least favorite mechanics in 5e, Justin?
I think advantage is a decent mechanic. It's better than like keeping track of multiple bonuses. It's just if you have an advantage, if you have a bonus, you get advantage. If you don't have any bonuses, you don't have an advantage. I don't know. It seems I'm comparing it to 4E, and it's always going to seem a little shallow to me compared to 4E, unfortunately, because 4E had a lot of tactical depth to it. But it is what it is. I think it is a pretty good system overall. I'm not sure there's any specific thing about it that I really dislike. I don't like how. I guess this is more of a problem in our campaign, but I really don't like rolling stats. I think characters should have a sort of base effectiveness across the board if they're going to be heroes, so to speak. And so in this campaign, we rolled 3d6, and I'm getting wrecked in this arena game. We rolled 3d6, and it just did not go well for some of us.
There was a point buy into it.
Yeah, it's an option, but we didn't take it.
Yeah, I mean, I would never see Neil going for point buy, to be honest. I mean, we barely convinced him out of 3d6 down the line.
Yeah, and then I think some stuff is so mechanically ineffective that you would never take it for the most part, and I think that's wrong. I think that stuff should always have the potential to be useful if it's going to be in the game.
Okay, good. And let's see, next in line here we have how often do you DM hack? Okay, that's a question that it's pretty weird. I mean, I can't really answer it. I don't really DM hack a lot. It's in combat I don't. Like, that's the whole thing I can say, like, for sure I don't DM hack in combat. Like, usually what gets rolled in combat gets rolled in combat, that's what happens. Out of combat, depends. Like, on some situations I would DM hack just because it fits better with the story, but minor. I always like to have an idea where everything and everyone is, or not everybody, and is doing. Justin, what do you think? How often do I DM hack? So, Justin?
I don't know. Maybe 2 or 3 times a session. If you have that little grin on your face, I think you'd probably DM hack 2 or 3 times a session. I actually never DM hack. I used to when I was much younger, but at some point I just stopped DM hacking. A lot of time I'll actually, like, for combat and stuff, I'll do rolls out in front of the party too, so that they know exactly what I'm rolling. And if they get crit, they get crit. I don't do anything to change that. You gotta have faith in the heart of the dice.
As I said, I think that, like, combat, I think nobody should DM here in combat. The situation given the dice, it should be fair for the players and for the monsters as well. If the monster rolls 3 crits in a row, just go with the 3 crits in a row, even if everybody's gonna scream DM hacks, DM hacks. Just go with it, and combat that. Don't DM hack in combat, that's what I would say. But in the rest, like, feel free. Remember, the golden rule is the whole thing is meant to be fun. That's the golden rule of D&D. Like, anybody who asks me about, this is my first time DMing, or I'm gonna DM for my first time, any advice? That's my advice. Remember, it's all about having fun. If it feels like homework and it feels like tedious, it's not D&D anymore. It's something else. It's not D&D anymore. Okay, maybe. Well, Taurus, maybe. We'll see. Actually, there's more in the DMG about a lot of stuff. The DMG gets mentioned a lot in the Pros Handbook, but, well, you have to wait for it and see. General D&D. So no, I missed one. How does the different character pathing work? Like a war cleric or a necromancer? I don't really understand that. So if you have the Player's Handbook, you can look at it and you see that, like, as a cleric, I think, what, level 1 you kind of choose a idea. So, like, you're a war cleric, you're a priest. What else do you have as a cleric, Justin? Because I know you have one.
There's life, luck, virtue. Like, there are different domains, and you just pick it at level 1, and it gives you different features. upon leveling up. There's the divine domain, the knowledge domain, life, light, nature, tempest, trickery, and war.
So there's a
Those are your
lot of
options.
archetypes. So basically, like I have it clearly called the Necromancer. It's really archetypes. So you should just look into the player's handbook and read it out, and you definitely understand the chain. That's the idea. It's archetypes. It's like completely different paths that you can take with a character. To just like general path of your character. My character is a worker, my character is that, or like for example in Over the Dragon Queen, Justin's character is named Brutus, and he is a guy that really likes to smash things up, and he was told that you can smash things and still be a good person if you are a workaholic. So it's really kind of like who do you want your character to be. So let's see. General D&D question. Is it more enjoyable to play with fewer players, not like Dice With Death scenario, more like when you have to choose between 3 and 5? I have DM'd campaigns with 6 people, I have DM'd campaigns with 5 people. I would definitely say 3 people a lot more fun, but it depends who the 3 people are. If, for example, if you have a group of 3 and there's like a 4th guy who is really fun, he's a fun guy, he'd be a good addition, that's okay. You should bring in, if you feel like the party needs another person, or if you just feel like he would be a good contribution, it's okay going 4 people from 3, but I would say fewer people leaves more time, just leaves more time for the whole game, because everybody needs to get an amount of things out. So like they want to talk, they want to roleplay, they want to play, they want to be part of the game. So that inherently takes time away from the other players. So the fewer players they are, the more you progress through the whole thing. What do you think, Justin? Fewer players or more players?
I think the question shouldn't be quantity; it should be quality.
Yeah, exactly.
I really like playing Neil. I really like playing D&D with Neil and Ryan because they're both really good players. So I think you should play D&D with as many people as you can find that are good. In terms of logistics, it gets tough to even get people together to play D&D once you go over like 4. People are always just like, no, I don't have time that day, or it stops working.
Yeah, schedule-wise.
So I think 4 or 5 is usually an ideal thing where there's enough people to make the game interesting, and there's everyone's schedule always works out so they can consistently make it. Yeah.
Okay. By the way, just feel free to post questions. Go on, even if I'm just gonna answer them one by one. So feel free to post them. I'm gonna get to yours, and you're gonna get all of you are gonna get your answers. Is there any place you can recommend online where you can meet people and play D&D? Roll20, looking for a group, that's a good place. There are several forums you can look up. The Spider Web or something, there's a good one that I forget the name of. Giant in the Playground is a pretty good site to meet people and play D&D with, or role-playing games with. I'd say Roll20 is the best one, to be honest. From what I know, Roll20 seems to be the best place. Or at your local hobby store. That's always a good place as well. People are always looking for another. There's always gonna be groups that want other players or need other players. What do you think? Your personal experience, where's the best place you can meet up with people and play D&D?
Not comic book stores. Because I tried that once, and the people I met all smelled really bad. They all had several hygiene issues, and it was a bad experience. But yeah, Roll20 is really good. You'd be surprised how many people have heard of D&D and have just wanted to try it and don't know anyone who wants to play it. So the hard part is just finding a DM. Usually finding players is really easy. So if you want to be that guy who steps forward and DMs, suddenly the world is your oyster. You can always find players to play D&D. Like my wife's cousin, who is what would someone consider a like typical blonde girl, sort of a ditz.
Continue on.
It expressed an interest in playing D&D, and she is she's never played D&D before. She's never had really any association with any sort of nerdy things, but she'd heard about it from her boyfriend and was curious. And so I'm going to be DMing a starter, like the starter set for her and a couple of her friends at some point, just to show her what D&D is like. So you'd be surprised. Just ask people. Ask people if they want to play some D&D.
Another good place, Koibu's Reddit. There are a lot of good campaigns that have started out from there. So Koibu Zero on Reddit, I think, or just Koibu on Reddit, you can easily find it. And a lot of people post there, I'm looking for a DM, I'm looking for a group. A lot of people find groups over there. I can see that like looking for DM or looking for groups gets several comments and responses within a couple of days. So you can try that as well. I'm going to be in a free preferred campaign with 7 people. I'm sort of curious how big party will work, and it would be fun to run a system that I haven't played yet. I would not recommend that chain. Starting a system you do not know with 7 people is going to be harsh, because you need to take a lot into account. It's going to take a long time to DM 7 people, and I would just not recommend it, because I've had the experience. Like it's a lot of little things that add up, so I can't really point them all out. But if you actually play, you're gonna see it's not that fun. It gets tedious real fast with so many people. But then again, it depends. Like if you're gonna go just a combat simulator, and you can have fun with that if you're into the combat of it. If the people are really great, like all of those 7 people just like merge very good, then it's fun. All of them are fun, they're all friends. That could work as well. Just in a general perspective, from my point, I would say it is not a good idea to start up a new system that you do not know with so many people. Do you have any opinion on this?
My opinion is that I'm about to die.
Arena is not going well for you, my friend.
It's not. I think I just have to go face.
Okay, so let's go. A question from Smokey Bear. So I knew what D&D, what is D&D, but I only played PC, like Baldur's Gate. That's a simulator. But I lately started watching people having on Twitch like you guys today, so I bought a core books and started reading. Should I read books first and get more to know, or should I look for a group and learn as I play? Read the books. Read the books first. It's not that much. Just take out the DMG, take out the player's handbook. If you're looking at 5e, then just take out the PHB. Buy the starter set, because the starter set is amazing. It's real simple, really good, and learn a bit by yourself. Like read, have a knowledge base of your own. But if you can still learn very well with a good DM. So if you can know a good DM, or you can find a good DM on Roll20 or on the sites we mentioned before, it's a very good way to learn as well. But it depends from what perspective. Do you want to learn to be a DM, or do you want to learn to be a player? I mean, I would say that as a DM you need to read. You need to read a lot more. As a player, you can just jump in without not knowing anything. You can really do if the DM is good and is willing to just take you hand by hand, like take your hand for everything. What do you think, Justin? Do you need to read the books before starting a game, or should you just jump into the game?
It depends. Like when I started the what I plan on doing with my wife is I haven't let her read the books. I'm gonna let her describe her actions, and I'm gonna tell her to roll a die and see if, and look at her character sheet, does this and this bonus apply, and we're just gonna see what happens. I think that's a pretty good way of starting out for most people.
Good.
Just you roll a d20. You're in a world. You roll a d20 and you see what happens. If you have someone who's willing to, like an experienced DM, who can guide you through the introduction process like that, then you're in pretty good shape.
Yeah.
If you're the DM, then you need to read the book first, and you just sort of struggle and figure stuff out as you go along. It happens.
So Joe Colton, what do you think about the DM that are also playing a character in the campaign? A DM, what do you mean by that? Do you mean that he is a part of the actual party and like he is a acknowledged party member on the same stats and terms as every other party member? I would say
Yeah, it's
that
like a
yeah.
DMPC.
If, like, for example, if it's in Elaine from Honorbound, that's an NPC. So, like, the DM will play all the NPCs in the game, and that's basically the job of the DM to play the NPCs. So, if you mean a character in the actual party, I would say that that gets biased or fast. Unless he's a very good DM and experienced DM, I would say that gets biased. So I would say that DM that's not a very good decision. I can't judge because I don't know him, or I don't know what the group is, I don't know how it works exactly, so I can't really say anything about it, just more than I think that it wouldn't work. What do you think if the DM actually played a player in the party that would get like resurrections and so on, or not necessarily that one, or roll another one?
I mean, that happens. Sometimes DMs play DMPCs. I don't think it's necessarily a very good idea in the vast majority of cases. Because the DM always has a conflict of interest. Being a DM in and of itself requires a huge amount of attention. Like if a player's attention wanders off, sometimes it's okay. If the DM's attention ever wanders off, or he's not focusing on what he's doing, he's going to lose it. I don't think it's a good idea. I know people who do it. I don't think it's a good idea.
Yeah, so we're on the same page on this. Thea ranked roll 20 Freddy Tefox, and I just ranked Reddit's Neil's Reddit. So let's see. Anything else? Imagine how much better. I can't comment about that, Shane. I don't know if the cast of Sorum has read the PHBs. I don't know.
I'm actually going to add on to my previous answer.
Go on.
I would prefer to have one player have two characters if the DM wants like a certain number of people in the party, rather than the DM have a DMPC. There's plenty of things that would make perfect sense. Like a paladin has a squire, and the paladin character can also play the squire. And he gets two characters. Maybe that's kind of lame, but I think that's a much better solution than almost any of the alternatives that I could think of.
Yeah, I agree. I completely agree with that. So, no new questions there, so I'm gonna ask you a question. Do you think you have like a better image of Martyr after the past 2 weeks on Honorbound?
I think Martyr. I don't so much have a better image of Martyr as I think that Martyr has developed a lot as a character. So for those of you who haven't figured this out, his name actually is Martyr, as in someone who sort of takes things on themselves, and like when you say stop being a martyr, it's someone who thinks the world is on top of them. They're trying to claim that the world's out to get them. And in Martyr's case, he brought all that stuff on himself by very poor decision making. So it's actually his fault. So his last name is Karad, which sounds kind of like cured. So Martyr's objective as a person, he's unaware of this, is to cure himself of his martyrdom and accept responsibility for his actions, which he's developed towards quite a bit in sort of an angsty, not great way, I think. So we're going to see how Martyr develops over time. But so far, he's doing okay.
Interesting. I feel like Martyr fleshed out pretty good. I feel like we have a very good idea of who Farron is after this session as well, more than before.
He's a psychopath. We
He's a
already knew that.
psychopath. Yes. It was not really out there yet. It was kind of, and I think Bowen still needs to like show his true colors. I still feel like Bowen hasn't really showed us who he is. Not yet though. He's a phone, but we don't know much about Bowen. I don't know if you can say. I cannot say anything, Shane. He is not a fallen cleric. That's I can point that out. He's not a fallen cleric. He is an actual cleric of Austere, but he is a war cleric. So he's not an actual like stay in church, let's pray cleric. He is a go out and smite the abominations of evil kind of a cleric. Yeah, I don't know. I see each prayer, even like whatever you wanna say, everybody has like a consistency in some of their characters. Neil kind of has this psychopath feel to a lot of the characters he plays. Like on Dicing with Death though, like for example Solomon, Warnier, this was another one, the one that survived only one session, Farron. They're pretty kind of like psychopathic, pretty damn dangerous. As people you do not want to have in the same room with you. Deal Kremograb. Well, I do not know how to answer that question. Just with this. Bye bye. So, Justin, what do you feel of your party members? I don't think you know anything more than the VODs know. So, what would be your opinion about Farron and Bowen?
Well, I think Theron killed his family, and he's not doing so well with that. It's just, probably also awkward at family gatherings.
And anything about Bowen?
And I don't know anything about Bowen. I think Bowen was like a part of the whatever the equivalent of the Age of Mist Spanish Inquisition is, and he got burnt out on torturing people and burning witches alive at the stake and whatnot. And he's just trying to make up for that somehow.
Will Taurus. I know Neil for maybe a year. So that I know Ryan for I don't know half a year. We did with a couple of Simon Says together.